Hi everybody, welcome to the next Monday's video from Midgard's Well. Tonight we'll be beginning our series on the lore discussion, and we will start with the start. We're beginning to read the Voluspa.
And we are reading from Jackson Crawford's edition. We are not sponsored by Jackson Crawford, but we love his work, and it's actually a really, I wouldn't say cheap, but it's definitely affordable on Amazon. The paperback is about $15 on Prime. We are also not sponsored by Amazon. These are just shameless plugs.
Yeah. The Jackson Crawford version is also very good for people who might not understand old literature and writings. A lot of other translations are very much translated and not meant for the reader of a modern day. Jackson Crawford went through some painstaking details to really put this in terms and
in a way we can understand.
Yeah, the flow of it is much more
appreciate.
modern. Alright, so ladies first.
Ho 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 ho! Heed my words, all classes of men, you greater and lesser children of Heimdall. You summon me, Odin, to tell what I recall of the oldest deeds of gods and men. I remember the giants born so long ago, in those ancient days they raised me. I remember 9 worlds, 9 giantesses, and the seed from which Yggdrasil sprang. It was at the very beginning, it was Ymir's time. There was no sand, no sea, no cooling waves, no earth, no sky, no grass, just Gnungaga. But Odin and his brothers created the earth. It was they who made Midgard. The sun shone from the south upon the stones of their hall, and the land turned green with growing plant life.
So, of course, in the first one, it talks about lesser children of Heimdall. That would be in correlation with the Lay of Rig.
Yeah.
So that is when Heimdall comes down and creates the caste systems.
And then, of course,
9 giantesses,
Yeah.
those are his madres.
and I lost my train of thought. I apologize.
Oh, it happens.
It's because you made me read first.
I know a fun thing too in the Ymir time, the fact that there were no waves, this just Gnunganap.
Yep.
Of course, that does also mean in the beginning, the creation story usually goes that there was Muspelheim, and then there was Niflheim, and then as they met, the poisonous gases from Niflheim had created Ymir. Look that up. Definitely look up the creation story. It is beautiful. We will definitely go over that as well one day.
It is on the list.
Yes.
The sun, companion of the moon, shone from the south, as heavenly horses pulled it east to west. The sun did not yet know where it rested at evening. The stars did not yet know their places in the sky. The moon did not yet know what kind of power it had. Then all the gods went to their thrones, those holy, holy gods, and came to a decision. They named the night and the hours, the morning, the midday, the afternoon, and the evening, so they could tell time. The gods had their meeting at Ithvol, where they built temples and high shrines. They made workshops, they made treasures, they made tongs and other tools. They played in the grass, they were cheerful. They had no lack of gold, till 3 giantesses came, fiendish giantesses, from Jotunheim. Then all the gods went to their thrones, those holy, holy gods, and came to a decision. They would make the lord of the dwarves out of Ymir's blood, and his rotting limbs. Then they made
Motsognir.
Thank you. He was the lord of all the dwarves. And next they made Durin. They made many, many man-like little creatures, dwarves of the earth, and Durin named them. Naian, Nithi, Northri, and Suthri, Austri, and Vestri, Athjof, Dvalin, Bivor, Bavor, Bomber, my apologies, Nori, An, and Anar, I, and Mjoltvitnir, Vieg and Gandalf, Vindalf, Thrain, Thek and Thorin, Thior, Vit and Lit, Nar, Nyath, Regan, Rasvith. Now I've named the dwarves correctly. Fili, Kili, Funden, Nali, Hefti, Vili, Hanar, Sphere, Frar, Hornvori, Freg, and Loni, Arveng, Yari, Oakenshield. And I think it's important to mention.
It almost was a song there for a second.
Right.
Because he did a good job of when he didn't take it out of order. I've seen it in this order, and in this order, it just flows as long as you know what you're saying.
Yeah.
And
these names are not easy to read. You will flub.
flub hard. It is also important. I mean, we still have more names to go through. Excuse me. But if you saw how difficult these names are spelled, you would also need a break. So, most people know that Tolkien took hard from this. Specifically, there's like names like Gandalf or Oakenshield, Bifor and Bomber. I think Dvalin is actually in it. I can't think right now. But
and of course, Durin is like the head.
Yeah.
Billy Killy.
Yep.
Billy Killy. Nolly. Hornbury. So, I mean, there's a lot of names in this that are in that, in Lord of the Rings. And another thing to mention is Northry, Southry, Austri, and Vestry. And those are the 4 cardinal points. Those are the dwarves of the 4 cardinal points. So
they are known in
south.
some legends to actually hold up the edges of the sky.
So they're north, south, east, and west. Northry, north, Southry, south, Austri, east, Vestry, west. Alright, now stanza 14. Now the names of Dvalin's family. The dwarves descended from Lothar, as men tell. The ones who left their stone halls for a home on Yorville. These were Drafnir and Dogthrasir, Har, Hagspori, Thing, Gloy, Skifir, Vifir, Skafith, Ai, Alf and Yavingi, Oak and Shield, Filar, Frosty, Fifth and Ginnar. The names of these dwarves, the descendants of Lothar, will be famous as long as the world exists. And thanks to Tolkien, they really, really are.
Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
3 gods, powerful and passionate, left Asgard for Midgard. They found Ask and Embla, weak, fateless in that land. They had no breath, no soul, no hair, no voice. They looked inhuman. Odin gave them breath. Hoenir gave them souls. Loth gave them hair and human faces.
One thing that I want to point out is Ask and Embla. So a lot of the lore that I have found states that Ask was a piece of driftwood made out of ash tree, and Embla was a piece of driftwood made out of elm tree. So that's also something to keep in mind when they're talking about they had no breath, no soul. They were wood, literally
inhuman,
wood.
Yeah. And then, of course, something else I always like to bring up is Odin, Hoenir, and Loth are the 3 brothers. They are attested with different names in many other sagas as Odin, Hoenir, and Ve. Or Vili and Ve, I mean.
Yeah, Vili and Ve.
Odin, Vili, Ve. So, well, we do believe Vili and Ve and Hoenir, Loth, those are just interchangeable names for the 2 younger brothers of Odin.
And what they give to Ask and Embla is very much what they kind of represent. Like Hoenir and souls, that's free will, that's where we get the name Vili. And then Loth gave them hair and human faces, which is where we get Ve.
Expression.
And that's kind of what we call our altar and shrines, because that's how we look upon the gods.
And Odin gave them breath because he's the Allfather.
Yes.
So then, stanza 19. I know an ash tree named Yggdrasil, a high tree speckled with white clay. Dewdrops fall from it upon the valleys. It stands forever green above earth's well. 3 wise women live there, by that well under that tree. Earth is named one, another is Varthandi, the third is Skuld. They carve men's fates, they determine destiny's laws. They choose the lifespan of every human child and how each life will end.
And it's important here to note that it makes a very distinct difference between our fates and like the Greek fates. Whereas the Greek fates weave and they have the thread of life, we have carved tablets.
Right, and then the fates in the Greek pantheon, they are mostly, they know of life, but they just find the moment that either they think is the best.
And cut it.
Yeah, they're much more cynical. Like a lot of the Greek gods in general, they're just like, and you're done.
Yep.
While with the Norns and the Norse pantheon, they're very much more set in the sense of your day you die has been set before you were even born.
Yeah.
Right.
Alrighty, so then, 21. I remember the first murder ever in the world, when Gulveig was pierced by spears. and burned in Odin's hall. They burned her 3 times. She was reborn 3 times, often killed, not a few times. Still she would live again. They named her Hythe. When she came into their homes, a sorceress who foresaw good things. She knew magic, she knew witchcraft, she practiced witchcraft. She was the pride of an evil family. Then all the gods went to their thrones, those holy, holy gods, and came to the decision about whether they should endure Guldveig's depredations or whether they should seek revenge. Odin let a spear fly and shot it into the fray. That was the first war ever in the world. The outer wall of Asgard was broken. The Vanir knew war magic. They trampled the valleys. Then all the gods went to their thrones, those holy, holy gods, and came to the decision. All the air would be poisoned with their deceit, or Odin's wife would have to be married to a giant. There are a lot of things in Stanza 25 that are kind of muddled around. Through research, it's believed there's actually supposed to be stanzas between 25 and 24 that kind of go more into the fact of 25 at the end is probably talking about the saga where Freya is almost auctioned off to a giantess by building the walls, which are there's a lot of stuff to look into that. These stanzas right here that talk about Guldveig are filled with metaphors and things to look into. Now Guldveig and Hythe, we know that those names both involve shining and golden, so it is believed that she is Freya. It is also mentioned in other representations or the more original writings that it is not Odin's wife, it is Od's wife. So that is where we get Freya. In Crawford's version, yes, you just say Odin's wife, and that is what kind of leads to a lot of people in confusion through a lot of other translations that Frigga and Freya are one and the same. That is an individual bias we do not partake here, but you are more than welcome to. That is your personal thing.
It's your prerogative, honey. You are on 26.
And this is where it gets away from all of that randomly. Thor alone was in the mood to fight. He does not take it lightly when the hearts of such things broken promises. Okay, come on.
Broken oaths and vows.
Broken oaths and vows, such false speech as even the gods had uttered. And this is kind of a thing where the gods knew they had kind of done wrong. Guldveig had just come into their home. She was maybe in a sense influencing men's minds, especially as Freya. She's a goddess of beauty and fertility in a sense, not a goddess of fertility, but she brings the lust. So of course it could be something simple as she came into a room and all the gods were just like, I'm gonna tap that. And so they didn't care about doing anything else besides tapping that. And I mean, I could call that war magic.
Yeah. Did we want to pause there?
Is it close?
I mean, we're at 27. So
Yeah, we'll pause there and then.
Would you say she's the goddess of seduction?
In a way.
Instead?
Yeah. Well, I
And
feel
war,
like
so
when
she obviously has something to do with
True.
it.
That
When
could be used
you
for war.
put Freyr and Freya in the same spot, she was supposed to be more of the actual love, and he was supposed to be more of the lust, more of the, because they're both love goddesses, they're both lust goddesses,
Right.
but Freyr is definitely more of the, I'm a fuck you, because we gotta fertilize this land,
exactly,
you know
the
what
seed.
I'm saying?
Freyr
You
is
know
the
what I'm
planted
saying.
seed.
Whereas
Freya is the, I just want to get some, you know.
well, she's that, but she's also the I love you, please come show me how much you love me.
Yeah. She's like the original siren.
Yeah.
Ain't
Which
nothing
is-
wrong with that.
And I mean that's part of why with the whole Guldveig thing, she knew magic, witchcraft. She was the pride of an evil family, and I mean from the Asir point of view, the Vanir were obviously evil,
Yeah. They were another set of gods.
encroaching on what they presumed was their territory.
Yep. Because at this point, Midgard would be very young. So.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and pause there. So that is our first lore video. This was stanzas 1 through 26 of the Voluspa on Jackson Crawford's version. So please, if you've got other translations you want to discuss with us, there's other lore you want us to discuss, if there's other topics you want us to discuss, please feel free to comment that below.
Yep.
Also, your opinions, your interpretation of the lore, etc. We'd just really love to interact with you guys. This was our main goal with making these podcasts, was to go over the lore, and that's what's ultimately important to us. So this is our baby for this.
This is the blood of our people
Yep.
right here. That's all we got left.
So, you guys know the drill. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell so that you get notifications about new videos.
And look forward to next Wednesday where we continue.
And by next Wednesday, he means next Monday at 5:45.
Yeah. And as always, thank you for drinking from the well.